Erev Tov, good evening. I want to welcome our distinguished guests, Ambassador Dan Shapiro and General John Allen, members of the IPF board and our newly launched advisory council, and all of our friends and honored guests here tonight. Thank you all for being here and for demonstrating your support for the Israel Policy Forum. I want to also acknowledge IPF founders, former chairs, and board members who are here tonight, as well as 3 former IPF executive directors. Thank you for being here as well. Together, we are delighted to pay tribute this evening to the leadership of IPF's Chair Emeritus, Peter Joseph, and to hear from 2 special guests, both true leaders and statesmen, who have worked diligently in recent years to advance the cause of ensuring a secure Jewish and democratic Israel, which is also the core mission of IPF. This goal can only be achieved with a realistic and lasting 2-state solution. These past few weeks have been challenging, to say the least. Truly, the times that try men's and women's souls. So much of what we hold most dear seems at risk. Freedom of religion and expression, the melting pot that has evolved into a multicultural society, and America's place in the world going forward, and the nature of our relationship with our key allies, including Israel. IPF remains committed to the principle of 2 states for 2 peoples, because that is the only genuinely pro-Israel position to take. One cannot be pro-Israel and actively support policies that threaten to spark global isolation or violence, or that put Israel's very identity as a Jewish and democratic state in jeopardy. And let me be clear and state what should be obvious to all. One cannot be pro-Israel and at the same time be a purveyor of anti-Semitic rhetoric. As stakeholders in Israel's past, present, and future, we will never give up on Israel and will never stop working alongside our Israeli friends, family, and colleagues to advance a vision of what Israel can be to become the best possible version of itself. To that end, we will continue to move forward, working with our partners, the Commanders for Israel's Security and the Center for a New American Security. Together in Israel and in the United States, we will continue to make the case that security is possible in pursuit of achieving and sustaining a 2-state solution. In the video we just saw, you met General Amnon Reshev, hero of the Yom Kippur War, former commander of the Armored Corps, and founder of the Commanders for Israel's Security. Amnon, you have protected Israel in war and now fight along with your esteemed security colleagues for Israel's survival. Please stand up and let us recognize you. I would also like to recognize one of IPF's most stalwart advocates, the chair of our new advisory council, and a true jewel in the Jewish community's crown, Charles Bronfman. We at IPF remain as determined as ever about the righteousness and the necessity of our cause. And for an example of determination in the face of challenges, I need look no further than our honoree, Peter Joseph, whose devotion to Israel's peace and security was unwavering when circumstances might have persuaded him to let IPF drift away. It is because of Peter that we are still here. Thank you, Peter, for preserving IPF through your commitment, your support, and your leadership. Now we must recognize the challenges that lay ahead. The two-state solution is under assault from all sides as never before. Today, a majority of the members of the governing coalition in Israel are not supportive of a two-state solution. Just yesterday, the government advanced legislation that would retroactively legalize illegal outposts in the West Bank, which would not only make an eventual two-state solution all the more difficult to achieve, but would endanger the very notion of Israel as a Jewish and democratic state. Meanwhile, on the Palestinian side, we are seeing increasing delegitimization of the two-state solution, and even of Israel itself, through anti-normalization campaigns and continuing terror attacks targeting Israeli civilians. Palestinians, too, must demonstrate their continuing commitment to an eventual negotiated solution, and more importantly, must ensure that any Palestinian leadership transition results in a government that renounces violence and respects Israel's right to exist in peace and security. We at IPF recognize that the parties themselves must ultimately reach a lasting peace together. It cannot be forced upon them. Yet, we do believe that the United States has a critically important, even indispensable, role to play going forward. In recent weeks, President-elect Trump has said on a few occasions that an Israeli-Palestinian agreement is something he would like to pursue in office. If he is serious, he will do more than utter those words. He will begin to take concrete action, working with Israel and the Palestinians to achieve that goal. And if he is truly serious, if he really does seek to be constructive in pursuing a realistic peace with security, IPF is prepared to serve as a resource, offering practical solutions supported by an unprecedented coalition of Israeli security experts and harnessing the energy of the majority of Israelis, Palestinians, and Americans who recognize that a two-state solution remains the only solution. Moving forward, IPF is prepared to vociferously defend the two-state solution against its critics and its opponents. We will continue to provide resources and make our case for an Israel that is secure, Jewish, and democratic. I want to thank all of you for your support and engagement, b'yachad, in the critical work ahead. Im tirtzu enzo agada. If you will it, it is no dream. And now I'm pleased to present a special video tribute to our honoree, Peter Joseph.